This is United Tribes News Radio. We bring you insights into a Native culture and Native people, ideas and topics to improve understanding. From United Tribes Technical College in Bismarck, I'm Alicia Hegland-Thorpe with the Office of Public Information. And so good morning, and we're excited to be here today. Thank you for joining us for this edition of United Tribes News. The show is jam-packed full of great stuff, lots of moving parts here. First of all, the week of February 5th was dedicated as National Tribal College and Universities Week in Washington, D.C. And the reason? Well, to commemorate and acknowledge the important work of educators, students, and higher education professionals at tribal colleges and universities nationwide. And by dedicating this week, 17 senators from around the country recognize the tribal college communities operating on more than 75 campuses across the United States, which offer exceptional opportunities to Native people. And in North Dakota alone, there are 5 tribal colleges, one of them being United Tribes, of course, Turtle Mountain Community College, Nueta Hidatsa Sanish College, which was formerly Fort Berthold Community College, Sitting Bull College, Kangdeshka Shikana Community College, and recently, we had some people in Washington, D.C. to help celebrate the week. United Tribes President Russ McDonald and a couple of individuals from our school attended D.C., but due to weather delays and unforeseen circumstances, I'm unable to get them on the show today to talk about their experiences, but I think we're going to have them probably on our next show. There was a lot of good information that came from their trip in Washington. Later in our show, we're going to hear from our nutrition and diet experts who are part of the Land Grant Extension Program. They're going to explain what that program is and why it's important to tribal communities and to our health. And with them are going to be a few other guests who are going to talk about exciting upcoming events on campus, and that's later in the show. Right now with me in the studio is the Vice President of Student Services, Delana Wendland. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Alicia. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It's great having you. So, student services, that is probably pretty broad, pretty general. Can you narrow that down? What does that mean?
Yeah, sure, no problem. It's many hats. It's comprised of 3 main areas. Enrollment services, which includes the departments of admissions and recruitment, financial aid, the registrar, and career development. The second part of that is the wellness services area, and that consists of academic and personal counseling, student health, health promotions, chemical health, and we do have a domestic violence advocate as well. And then the third aspect is the athletics. We have men's and women's basketball as well.
So you are pretty busy.
Very busy.
You got a lot of things going on at the same time, juggling all the balls at the same time.
I try.
Yeah. So, well, we're going to go back to part of the first thing that you had mentioned about the enrollment, admissions, and recruiting. Spring session is underway. Yep. We've got under a full month now. What's enrollment like now so far, and what are kind of the trends there?
We're actually around 20 students up from last spring. So we're right around 380 mark this spring, which is an increase compared to last spring. So we're good. January is always a busy month. We have incoming students. December kind of ends with graduation, and January brings in new students and just a new year. So getting, those students ready to get into their classes and study hard. So we're just kind of coming off of our busy month here and gearing up now because summer will be starting here in a few months. And I know it's going, 3 months away, but it gets here quicker than expected.
It's coming by fast.
We're always preparing. Mm-hmm. Always, there's always something happening.
So do you get a chance to talk to students quite a bit?
Oh, yes. My office is in the Upper Jack Barton Center in enrollment services, actually. So I see students in passing all the time, or they pop in and visit for various reasons.
Sure. Well, what in your conversations in passing that you have from students, what are you finding out that they enjoy the most about our school?
Everything we have to offer. We have so much to offer the community, Bismarck, Mandan. Aside from all of our academic programs of study and our career and tech ed programs, we have student housing and family housing. We also, what's unique to United Tribes, we do have an elementary school on campus and our daycare center. I think we're just very personable. in addition to all of the services we offer, we really take a holistic approach in educating our students. So we surround them and make sure that all of their needs are being met, so that way they can be a successful student and graduate.
And so when you say the holistic approach, I mean not only with the financial aid services and the student service. You're encompassing everything. How we feel our students on campus. There's unique ways to approach all of their needs.
Yes.
Okay. And so one of those being your wellness center.
Yes, and part of that's just to eliminate any barriers they may have coming to school. Some of our students are first generation college students. Never been away from home. So our job in student services, especially enrollment and wellness, is to ensure that once that student comes to campus, that we remove all of those barriers so they can focus on their academics.
Okay, so. One of the things that I've heard out and about, and people have asked me when I tell them that I work for United Tribes, well, don't you have to be a Native American to attend school? And the answer to that is absolutely not. We accept everybody.
Yes, that is correct. Anyone is welcome to attend
United
Tribes.
And we call that an open enrollment policy, or how did you?
Anyone can attend. There's, you don't have to be Native to attend United Tribes. Anyone can attend.
And I think more people need to know that. I think people think that.
Agree.
I mean, we are a community inside of a community, but when it comes to educating people who are looking forward to improving on their higher education, cost effectively, we're one of the best.
Yes. Compared to other schools, yes, we are very
reasonably affordable.
Yes,
absolutely.
Reasonably affordable is the appropriate. Compared to other schools, we're very inexpensive.
And I think that's a huge plus for our school, especially since we're kind of smack dab in the middle of Bismarck. What do you feel? What do you think? Like, if you came across a student who's really struggling, what kind of advice do you give them?
It depends on what areas they're struggling in. Again, that leads back to just holistically. I mean, are they in need of tutoring? Are they in need of some counseling? Again, our wellness department is awesome. We have so much to offer, whether it's academic counseling, personal counseling. If they need to see one of our nurses, maybe they're having some health-related issues, and even chemical health issues.
Yeah.
So we really take a holistic approach.
And those are
student
all free
wellness.
services too.
Yes, they
absolutely free. Okay, well we're actually running out of time here, but we have some events that we want to talk about that's coming up on campus.
Yes, we are. The Thunderbirds are playing the Mystics from BSC on the 15th, and we're actually student government is hosting a pep rally from 2 to 3 that day in our gym here on campus. The 23rd. We play Williston State College. AHEC is coming up March 19th through the 22nd in Rapid City, South Dakota.
Exciting,
and
yeah.
so our teams, I believe they're busy getting registered and busy practicing. And I know our hand games team has been hard at it over the lunch hours. And April 15th is a Thunderbird run, but I'll let Chris touch more on that. And then, of course, graduation is going to be here before we know it on May 12th.
Yes. So lots going on and a lot of things to look forward to.
Most definitely.
Thank you so much for being part of our show today and to helping me get some of the guests on today with our minor change of plans that we had.
Hey, we improvise. That's what we do.
That's right. We did a great job, too. So thank you for being on the show. We're going to talk more about the health and wellness factor at United Tribes Technical College when we come back.
Right now, 44.
Here's Sean Hannity, weekday afternoons on Super Talk 1270.
Welcome back to United Tribes News. We're going to focus on health and wellness these next few segments. And coming into the studio with me now, our guest, Chris Knoll, who is the coordinator for the Health Promotion Center on our campus, and Mara Ibora. Jana Miller will also be on with us later, too. They're both registered dietitians, and they play very active roles in the Land Grant Extension Program and the Healthy Communities Coalition, and indirectly with Healthy Promotions, correct? Okay, so welcome, you guys. Thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you.
Chris, I'm going to pick on you for a little while.
All right.
It's like, what do you have for me? Tell us about yourself. How long have you been with United Tribes, and what interested you in becoming a part of our family?
Yeah. So first, thanks for having me on. I am originally from Bismarck, North Dakota. I graduated from BHS. After that, I spent 10 years in the Air Force and decided to pursue a degree in exercise science and health and wellness. So graduated from University of Mary in 2013, and I've been at United Tribes now for a little over a year. I was interested in this position because I'm able to help students and staff on a college campus, which I got really familiar with at the University of Mary.
Sure.
And just, pursuing my goals of increasing people's health and wellness through physical activity, exercise.
There you go. Well, we're glad to have you.
Thank you.
So Healthy Promotions is the organization that you're familiar with there, that you're coordinating. Is this a new program?
It's not a new program. We've had the program running for, I think, about the last 10 years. It used to be called Strengthening Lifestyles.
Okay. And so now with the new name then, are there new goals for it? Or tell us how it fits into student and staff wellness.
Yeah, so the goal of the health promotion program on campus is to just increase the health and wellness of students and staff on campus. There wasn't a whole lot that changed by changing names. It was more just a logistical issue. We did add a little bit more of an employee wellness focus to the program in this recent year.
Right, and we're actually going to talk about that in a minute. That's the Well Steps program that you're speaking of. Right. I mean, well, actually, we're going to talk about that in a minute. But you're also, one of the things that you do there, besides helping bring awareness to health and fitness on campus, there's a major event happening in April.
Yeah, so we have our Thunderbird Run. It's the 14th annual run. It usually draws a really good crowd. This
14 years already?
14 years.
Crazy.
So that's going to be on the 15th of April this year. And
now that falls on a Easter weekend, right?
It's on Saturday.
Okay.
Yep, Easter Saturday.
And there's going to be people around, and that tends to be a good weekend for running? Runners?
Absolutely.
Celebrating, having fun with life? That's right, okay.
We chose that weekend. It was open, and we kind of wanted it to be the same type of event as like the Thanksgiving run, the turkey trot, and so having it on a holiday weekend, people are available, people are in town visiting, and we want to draw as much participation as possible.
Good marketing idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we do expect a good turnout like we always get with this one, yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay, let's tell people more about what you have to offer them for it.
So the Thunderbird Run has 3 events. You can sign up for the half marathon. We have a 10K and a 5K. And then afterwards, we also have a free kids run that'll go around the campus. So you can sign up for the Thunderbird Run at runsignup.com, searching for Thunderbird Spring Run. You can also find more information on Facebook if you search for Thunderbird Run.
Yeah, we've actually had that Facebook page for a while, I think, right? Just gets updated with the new information. Okay, again, so that's on Facebook, Thunderbird Run. Thunderbird Spring Run.
Thunderbird Run is
Run.
Facebook, and then Run Sign Up. If you just search for Thunderbird Run, you should be able to find it on there too. But that's runsignup.com.
Okay, and there are some fees depending on which category you're running in, correct?
Yep. So we're offering the event free for students on campus. If you're a student from a different campus, the fee is only $5 for any of the 3 events.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, community for the half marathon is $40, the 10K is $25, and the 5K is $20. With that, though, you do get the first 75 participants are guaranteed a Thunderbird Run t-shirt.
There you go. I know a lot of people enjoy getting that shirt. That's awesome. Awesome. Okay, and is there a deadline to sign up?
You have to sign up before the 13th of April. Again, the run is on the 15th. You can sign up the day of the event as well. You're just not guaranteed a t-shirt.
Right. More than likely, probably not. Okay. And again, that's April 15th, and it's where?
April 15th on United Tribes Technical College. The race leaves right in the middle of campus. You can't miss it. It actually leaves campus and utilizes some of the Bismarck Parks and Rec bike trails. And it's out and back, so it'll end up back at the campus.
Have you run this before?
I did last year. So we actually have two events. The Thunderbird Spring Run was the first time I ran it last year. And then we do a powwow run at the beginning of September every year as well. So this will be my third race.
Okay, cool. And I'm sure we're going to have a lot of seasoned people coming back who really enjoy their marathons, enjoy running.
We have a lot of people that come back to race this one. They enjoy it.
So you runners, this is your time. We're giving you a heads up. The Thunderbird Run is happening April 15th. And sign up at runsignup.com or look on Facebook for Thunderbird Run. You should find all the information that you need there. And let's talk a little bit more about the Well Steps program. I'm part of the Healthy Coalition. Healthy
Community Coalition.
Right. And the work that both of you have been doing, contributing to making a healthier campus for not only students, but this Well Steps program is focusing on staff. You know, it's like, hey, you guys got to shape up and we're going to hold you accountable. So tell us about the program a little bit. We have a couple minutes here.
Yeah, well, first off, the Healthy Community Coalition, we focus on a lot of different things, student wellness, employee wellness, and looking at a holistic approach of things that we can do on the campus. And a thing we're kind of lacking is a really comprehensive worksite wellness program. So we wanted to focus on getting all of our employees involved and holding them accountable, giving them opportunity to track their points, track their exercises they do, if they're tracking their nutrition, giving them challenges, and then they can earn points for incentives. It's been going really well. It's our first month. Right when they sign on to Well Steps, that's the consultant we went with, they have to log in and do a personal health assessment. This information is awesome for us to get so we know where our employees stand right away, and then we can see how they improve throughout the month. So we're getting a lot of people involved.
One of the questions that that someone had asked me is, well, is everybody going to see what I'm doing?
Yep, and it's awesome because it's completely private. That's why we went with the third-party program. So it follows the HIPAA guidelines, and all their information is secure, which is really ideal when you're looking at a worksite wellness program.
And so there was a goal to have so many participants, right? Are you seeing any results? Okay.
Yep.
What do you got?
We originally wrote a grant for this, and our main goal was to get 25% of our employees involved. Within the first month, we have a total of 220 employees, and we have 131 people are registered with Well Steps, so over 50%.
Over 50%.
Yeah, and then about 56 employees are actively logging their points on a weekly basis, really trying to get their points up. And then a lot of people are in our water drinking challenge, or we have a squat challenge starting on Monday. So people are getting really excited about it, and it's really inspiring.
So the goal, though, is, we have about a minute left, but the goal of having this was?
Mm-hmm. The main goal is we really want to get our health insurance premiums down, making health insurance affordable for our employees, and obviously getting them well in the process. Getting people healthier, spending less on insurance, going to the doctor less, and just getting happier and more active, less stress, and getting good work done for our students.
And these incentives too can really get people motivated to get things done. But when they also see in the long run, and they go and they look at their progress, that is certainly something to be proud of.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much, both of you, for being on the show. Chris, this was your first time on, but I have a feeling it's not your last. Okay. And Mara, you stick around, and we'll have more with United Tribes News right after the break.
Right now, 44.
News and Views with Joel Heitkamp. Weekdays on Super Talk 1270.
Welcome back to United Tribes News Radio. My name is Alicia Hegland-Thorpe, and I'm with the Office of Public Information at United Tribes. Mara Ibarra is still with me in the studio today, but she is helping to keep me focused on the health and wellness portion of our show. But you have a guest with you today. Can you introduce your guest, please?
Yeah, I have Kelsey Anderson with me. She is our market manager for our winter market on the United Tribes Technical College campus.
A marketing guru?
Yeah.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Well, tell us about Winter Market. This is always a fun time to talk about this stuff. I love talking about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is our third market this season. It's coming up this Saturday, February 11th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We have a really good variety of vendors this time around. We're going to have some ready-to-eat from Jeff Baker. I think he's going to do some tacos in a bag maybe, or some delicious
He always
soup.
has good food.
Oh, it's always fantastic. Lori Martin from Roving Donkey Farms, she has some phenomenal canned goods and probably a little bit of leftover winter produce. So it'll be really nice to have some fresh food available kind of in the winter months. All sorts of stuff, baked goods and phenomenal jewelry.
Artwork, yeah.
Artwork. Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's a really well-rounded market this time around. We're excited about it.
Tell me more about, when you said the kind of leftovers from winter produce and stuff. Are these people, the people who are growing our food that you're speaking of, do they have like greenhouses? Is that what they're doing to bring this fresh produce? Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. There's greenhouses, hoop houses, things like that allow producers to grow well into the winter months, and you're going to get those really hardy greens, kales and spinach, and some root vegetables as well. So things that make some really great additions to your dinners.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure. So people can, when they come to the winter market on campus, on United Tribes campus, they're going to see that fresh stuff that is still being grown right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just a few miles outside of Bismarck, so it's about as fresh as you can get it.
Right. And considering when you say fresh and it's North Dakota and
Right.
it's winter, I mean, that's really phenomenal that you're telling me there's absolutely fresh vegetables right there on the spot.
Yep, absolutely.
And then the canned goods and the...
Oh, salsas and jams and this amazing like almond peach butter thing that Lori makes is just absolutely incredible. Yeah, and really great breads and banana breads, things like that. Yeah.
What are you hearing from people that, what do they like the most about it? Do you talk to people about that?
Yeah, we get a lot of feedback that people really like that it's a family event. It's, local produce or local people being able to have an avenue to showcase their art and everything like that. It's a really neat and unique experience in Bismarck. And the fact that, we can do it in the winter as well instead of just our big summer street fairs is pretty unique to the United Tribes winter market.
Yeah.
And on a consumer side, not only do I help out with winter market, but I am at every winter market shopping every time. And I love the produce, the produce, the art. I got a cool wallet last time I was there.
Right.
I got an awesome necklace last time I was there. And I really do love Glimpse of the Prairie has a lot of good baked goods. They're awesome tortillas, canned goods, soaps. You can get face soap. I mean, it's just stock up and
From
that
the
stuff lasts
goat milk
forever.
that they have right on their farm. It's just, it could not be more
Local soap.
and natural
Yeah.
than it is.
So shop local. That's definitely the theme.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. You had mentioned it's fun for the whole family. So is there like stuff for kids to do?
Yeah, I always have some sort of little kids corner. coloring or games or something like that. So kids of all ages can come. There's something for everyone, and we really take pride in that.
And tell us again when and where?
It is at the Henry James Gymnasium and the United Tribes Technical College campus this Saturday, February 11th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And parking and signs?
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's, as soon as you turn onto the campus off of Airport Road, there'll be large winter market signs guiding you directly to the massive parking lot, where there is plenty of parking, but it is supposed to be about 40 degrees on Saturday. Mm-hmm. So I'm really hoping that the nice weather brings people out and they're kind of, just ready to start being active again. I know I am.
Get out there and enjoy the day and enjoy shopping local at the winter market. Is there more to come?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. So we have our last winter market is going to be March 25th, same time, same place. And then we are really starting to gear up for Winter Market's sister market, which is Bismarck., and that is held every Saturday at Kiwanis Park. And we're looking for vendors, we're looking for sponsors to kind of help us get going on all of our ideas and everything like that for the summer. But you can find more information on both Winter Market and Bismarck on our websites. For Bismarck, it's Bismarck, I think it's bismarcknd.com. Mm-hmm. And then Winter Market is just wintermarket.com.
Winter Market ND.
ND.com.
ND.com.
Oh my gosh.
wintermarketnd.com. I have that one memorized.
Okay.
And then the other one was bismarcket.com.
Oh, I just mixed them up a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You'll find us. You'll find us.
Google us.
And I think a big thing to add, if you're a vendor, if you are someone interested and passionate about local food, come to our vendor meeting April 10th. It's on the United Tribes Technical College campus in the Wellness Center, which is the same place that the market is held. But if you want to learn more about how to be a vendor, what we do, if you're looking to volunteer and just get more involved with the market, please come. It's an open meeting. It's going to be held at 6 p.m. on April 10th, and we just want to hear all your ideas and get people involved in this awesome market.
Yeah.
And it's not a place where someone needs to be committed that day. It's just an informational session so you can see what it's about and possibly make plans to be involved.
Absolutely.
So not only are you looking for vendors, you're looking for more than that, you said, right?
Yeah, we are currently seeking anyone who has experience in fundraising or anything like that to kind of help out on our volunteer board committee for fundraising, as well as corporate sponsorship. So if you work for a business that is very interested in keeping their employees healthy and happy, or just know that they are interested in supporting nonprofits such as this, we would really love to hear from you. And any info on that can be sent to info@bismarck.com, and we will...
Or can they call you?
Or they can call me as well, 701-269-5253.
Okay, and that's 269-5253.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today and tell us about Winter Market. Yeah. Oh, I remember what I was going to ask you. SNAP benefits. Is that something that you accept at Winter Market?
Yes.
Or all markets?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All markets.
Winter Market, Bismarck. We really want to encourage people to use their SNAP benefits for local, healthy, nutritious food. Feed your family, cook awesome dinners, and then bring your family and hang out at these fun markets. Get to know your farmers. I think that is one of the coolest things about these markets is you know who is producing this food, who's growing it, and there's just so much love that they put into that food that they grow.
Well, you really appreciate it more once you know where it's coming from.
Absolutely.
And if you meet the growers or the people who produce that talent, produce that art, as you're speaking of, that just makes more of an appreciation. As you said, you just feel the love when you're in the room.
Exactly.
Well, and then we're also really starting to kick off this idea of food demos this season. So April 24th, we're going to be doing a food demo in partnership with Carmen's Kitchen.
Oh!
Yeah. So we really want to make sure that not only are people being able to have access to these amazing products, but that they really know how to use them and are getting different ideas on how to cook and everything like that. So that information will also be on our website as these ideas kind of progress.
Yeah, keep me posted on that. That's really exciting information. Thank you so much for being here. Mara, before we go into the break, I just kind of wanted to ask you, you just came back from Washington, D.C. You've got all these things that have been going on. How did you find time to go to D.C. and what were you there for?
That's a really good question, how I found time. But I found it. When they ask, I go.
Sure.
We went to D.C., me and my coworker, Kara, who is a personal trainer on our campus. We went to represent the college for our Healthy Campus Challenge Day. We were invited by the White House to go because we promoted getting students signed up for healthcare. And it's just such an important thing for our students to know that they have health care, so they're not stressing about that and still more focused on their studies. You can't be successful academically until you have your health, wellness all in sync.
Yeah.
So that was something really important. The challenge consisted of marketing to our students, getting navigators trained and making them available to our students so we can get them signed up. The navigators saw a steady flow of students coming in, wanting to get signed up with their health care. And
you're talking
it was
about
pretty
Marketplace
awesome.
or the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that challenge you completed, and then you found out that you got the certificate, and that's signed by the president.
Yeah,
hanging in our wellness center. But not only that, you got an invitation to the White House.
Yeah, and so got to go to the White House, listen to awesome presentations on other colleges and what they did. Got to meet Michelle Obama, which was awesome. She just talked about the importance of healthcare, and it was really kind of our prize for completing this challenge, which was one of the coolest experiences I've done.
That's awesome. Then thank you so much for sharing that with us. And United Tribes has had their footprint in Washington, D.C. now, thanks to you. And we'll be back with more after the break.
Right now, 46.
Weekends with Twilight Zone Radio on Super Talk 1270.
Welcome back to United Tribes News on Super Talk 1270. February is American Heart Month. There are all sorts of ways to keep your ticker in check. And so here to talk more about that is Jana Milner and Mara Ibarra. They're both from the Land Grant Extension Program. They're both registered dietitians, and they're both professional radio speakers.
Yes, absolutely.
They're going to tell us how to keep our heart healthy today. But before we get to the do's and don'ts of heart health, ladies, as you know, we're focusing the show on health and wellness in general. We briefly mentioned about the wellness fair that's going on United Tribes campus, but this is a big to-do. Let's take some time and talk about that if we can.
Yeah, the Wellness Fair is going to be awesome. It's February 23rd from noon to 4. We have so many different vendors. Like I mentioned before, we always want a comprehensive look at wellness on our campus. So I have people doing the blood pressure checks, blood glucose checks, but also I have a couple massage therapists coming. They're going to be doing massages. I even have the Bizman Co-op coming, and they're bringing local food, local goods, and they're going to be handing out some produce. So I think that is going to be awesome. And then Kelsey Anderson, who we were just talking to, she's also going to be there representing Winter Market, Biz Market, again, that look on local goods. So it's going to be awesome. And that's not it. It's not just the wellness fair. We are also doing the Great American Spit Out that morning starting at 10 a.m. And everyone is invited. We are going to be talking about tobacco use with a 6-time oral, neck, and head cancer survivor. And then
6 times. That's
I know.
crazy.
And he travels around the country doing motivational speaking with his friend who is a Cherokee Nation storyteller. And they're just going to be awesome. They're going to be talking about tobacco use, and it's going to be really inspiring. So that starts at 10 a.m. on February 23rd in the gym.
2 events in the same day.
Yep. It's in the James Henry Gymnasium. We go from that event right into the wellness fair that starts at noon and goes till 4. And so everyone's welcome. Come talk to us. A lot of information that's going to be provided.
Is there still a need for vendors, or have you all your slots filled?
Oh, I will always take vendors. If you are wellness related, if you have awesome information on nutrition, wellness, physical activity, let me know. Contact me at myborra@uttc.edu. That's meborra@uttc.edu, and I can get you on that list. It's going to be a good time. So if you have information, we want you there.
And that's just a couple of weeks from now. You said the 23rd. Today is the 10th, so that's less than 2 weeks, people.
Yep,
right?
yep. I mean, there is a good chance if you don't get in now, might not let you in. But
So call today.
Call today.
Okay, thank you.
Or email.
Yeah.
Or email. Either way, right. Okay, so now, keeping on the wellness, health and wellness focus that I'm trying to focus on. So many other things to talk about, but it is all related to health and wellness. So February it's American Heart Month, and so why don't you tell us a little bit more about I think we've all known somebody in our families that has had heart issues, and that's the hardest thing is to physically remember that this is in my bloodline. This is something that it could really truly affect me. Mm-hmm. So what are some of the ways that we can prevent heart disease?
Right. Well, the reason that heart disease is so prevalent is it's intertwined in so many different diseases, whether it be diabetes or high blood pressure, high cholesterol. So many different factors that come into play. But some of the things that we can do, diet is a perfect place to start. What the American Heart Association recommends is the DASH diet. So that's just dietary approaches to stop hypertension is what DASH stands for.
Oh, I like that.
So it's not just for hypertension patients. Anyone can kind of go in this diet, but it just has a huge emphasis on whole grains, fruits and vegetables, and so the average American, like 3/4 of us, don't get the required fruits and vegetables that we should have in a day.
I believe it.
It's kind of strive for 5, at least 3 veggies and 2 fruits per day is what they recommend. So if you can kind of try to spread it out, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, getting some snacks in there too. So with the DASH diet, it's also lower sodium. Sodium's in so many of our processed foods. Mm-hmm. So we try to play around at United Tribes Extension with a lot of sodium-free recipes. We had an event last night where we did sodium-free taco seasoning. Mm-hmm. So basically, like any of those little seasonings you get in packets, you can Google recipes. I mean, the internet's awesome. Pinterest, Google, sodium-free taco seasoning, trying to do... you can do Mrs. Dash, different things like that, if you're not used to using some of those spices in your cupboards. Because why do we use sodium? Because it's salt. It makes your food taste good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One thing I always do and recommend is if you buy those canned beans or canned corn, making sure you're rinsing the beans before putting it in chili. Don't take that whole can of beans, open it up and put it in your chili. Rinse them under running water first. It shows that it decreases the sodium by 41% when we rinse it underwater. And what an easy thing to do to decrease our sodium intake.
Well, it makes it taste different too. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, the consistency of it is like, oh, I should have rinsed the beans.
I just think anytime exactly, and anytime that we can decrease sodium, because sodium's in a lot of things, so decrease it where we can and add it if we need it. Taste your food first. Don't just instantly add sodium or salt to it.
Right.
See if you even need it. A lot of times things taste good without it.
Right. So another thing that is really helpful too, just kind of in this DASH diet approach, is whole foods are best. And when I say whole foods are best, like when you buy an apple, it's just an apple. When you buy an orange, it's just an orange or a lettuce. But if you go into those boxed aisles, you don't understand some of the ingredients, and that's where you can get the overprocessed, high fat, high sodium type things. But when you're cooking with whole foods and you see what's going into it, that can be a huge determined in how healthy your heart is.
Okay. So, and how about getting to a healthy weight? And, is that one of the goals too of preventing heart disease?
Absolutely. So controlling your weight or getting it to a healthy weight for yourself, you can do that through diet and you can do that through exercise. And start small. Don't do something that maybe it seems unapproachable. Maybe try walking 15 minutes 3 times a week. You can go do that at the mall if it's cold outside. This week, that's not the case, so maybe get some rain boots on and go for a walk. But there's so many different studios in town, different workout classes, gyms. There's so many different things. So getting out there and get moving as much as you can.
And take care of that ticker.
Yeah.
So I wonder who's behind Valentine's being in Heart Month.
Right?
Is there a conspiracy to that?
It's got to be a correlation.
Remember to take care of your ticker and the one that makes your heart flutter on Valentine's Day. Oh, isn't that sweet? Thank you so much for being on our show today. We are out of time, but we're going to have you back for sure. From all of us at United Tribes Technical College, have a great weekend.
Thank you.